2013, his passion has made way for him to be entrepreneur. He is owner of event bookies and event and wedding planning team and managing director of Diksoochi, Mysuru. Here he works as education consultant, leading students to make right choice at right age to achieve their goals. Passion towards teaching has brought him a very good name in his workplace. Now I request Ullas sir to enlighten students with his precious word. We begin this event. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for a very brief and a very nice introduction. Um, I don't know how far I am achievable with respect to the whatever the definitions that they have given for me. So thank you so much, first of all. And myself, Ullas, as it has already been given with a small description. I work as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication at PSC Mandia. And other than that, having a very passionate ideas towards entrepreneurship, I have always been trying to be an entrepreneur, and I have tried to manage some of the firms. Like one is that event bookies, where we plan for event planning and wedding planning, and other than that, all different type of plannings we do. Interior designs also we take up there. And other than that, I also have started with a firm called Diksoochi, wherein we actually want to build the proper bridge between students and their dream jobs. So all the students are quite finding it difficult to make a very proper choice of education by keeping their dream job in their mind. They're finding it very difficult. They take up some different degree, but they wanted to do something else. To have that properly done, because we all have to agree that today passion is a profession. So having a proper passion can always lead to a profession. We need to have a proper education for the same. So with all these things, I think I can just start with the presentation now. Yeah. So with first of all, as you all have got to know about the topic for the day, that is National Education Policy 2020. In this presentation, we will be focusing more on innovation and entrepreneurship. And we just want to put forth some of the things wherein how this national education policy is going to be the advantageous thing for the students when we are thinking about innovation and entrepreneurship. Because it is very much important in current life that innovation and entrepreneurship, the way that it is actually flying high. All the jobs, whatever that we used to find previously, where we used to go for an interview, take a job, and work there for a given specified hours, take some salary that has been paid by the employer, and that is what we were doing. But today, most of them are looking forward towards the concept of entrepreneurship. They want to be the owners, and they want to give salary and give job rather than taking it from someone else. So if they want to be an entrepreneur, the important thing that has to come out from them is innovation. There are a lot of reasons why innovation is given the highest priority in NEP. And as you all know, as I go on with the presentation, you will understand how NEP is completely pointing towards innovation and entrepreneurship by the end of its complete scheme, right? And here, when we are speaking about innovation, the first thing that you have to keep in mind is innovation can happen to everyone. It is not specific that a person with education or a person with experience or a person with the ideas only can do innovation. there are a lot of chances wherein innovation happens with a person who comes out with a real-time situation. At that moment, you may have a new idea there, right? That becomes innovation sometimes. But that innovation will be transformed into entrepreneurship only on a proper workspace. You have to work very properly. You have to have proper plannings. You have to organize things properly, and you have to come out with proper things. So then only that innovation or idea becomes entrepreneur. It will take you to the level of entrepreneurship. So, and for entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean that you have to be innovative to be an entrepreneurship. There are a lot of people who actually have been the entrepreneur without having any idea, nor being an innovator. So why, how come that can happen? It is only possible because of they have the ability to gather proper people who have got that innovative ideas. So they take work from the innovative people and they become the entrepreneur. Even that is also possible. So let's see that how NEP is going to aim at different things and how we are going to reach out with respect to innovation and entrepreneurship through this National Education Policy 2020. First of all, this presentation, there are very few agendas that I have kept. That one of that is uh, the what is NEP, to explain what is NEP, and then to give away some of the points wherein you'll be understanding about intentions of NEP, and then we will also have the small brief of merits, what all the different merits we have, and what all the different ideas or advantages that have been listed in with respect to the NEP that we will try to see. And then we have one more thing that is about the entrepreneurship under NEP, what all the different possibilities that have been given by NEP, and what all the different platforms that have been created by NEP for entrepreneurship. So that we will try to see. And followed by that, we will also see that how this NEP is going to help us out with innovation and how it actually leads students towards the innovation, right? So all these things we'll try to see here. Followed by that, how innovation is going to be the important criteria in NEP. So what are the different steps taken by NEP for this process? And we will also compare, lastly, we'll compare the NEP with the old education policy, and we'll see that how this upgrade has come up and what are the different advantages we find in NEP when compared to that of old education system we have. Okay. So first of all, what is NEP? When we actually speak about NEP, NEP has mostly concentrated on something called as skill-based learning. So earlier, whatever we used to learn was knowledge-based learning, but now whatever that we are learning is about skill-based learning. So when we actually speak about NEP, the most of the concepts of NEP, they are driven towards the skill. So without the skills, it's very difficult for anyone to uh, proceed with innovations or proceed with new ideas or proceed with establishment of new establishment of entrepreneurs. All those things will happen. So the first important thing that the government has concentrating is on skill-based learning. You are able to see that there is a logo behind it that is nothing but the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which now from now on it will be called as Ministry of Education. They have the complete authority of education all over India. So we are also bringing out a platform wherein we will be having equal level of education for everyone all over the one country. Means we will not be having any differentiation with respect to states with respect to education. The importance has been given with respect to the what we say, like mother tongue, their state language, and also to country language, and then to international language. Everything has been listed out very properly here. But with respect to the content, whatever that the NEP 2020 comes, the highlight of NEP 2020 is nothing but skill-based learning. So we will try to see that how this NEP is doing its what means how it is actually giving out these ideas and what all the different concepts that have been brought under this NEP, and how NEP is concentrating on innovation and entrepreneurship. So under this, in the same slide, you are able to see that there is a small image wherein we are able to see that lot of different concepts have been explained here, right? So when you actually see this with respect to the what the idea of innovation and idea of entrepreneurship, just give me a second. So NEP mostly concentrates on many things. First of all, the first thing that we have to know is about the multiple pathways. So what is the meaning of multiple pathways? It is nothing but the concentration is mostly on not just only on education or not specifically on only one topic or one kind of subject. So you all have heard of NEP by now. That is like it is interdisciplinary. Mostly it is interdisciplinary. You are able to take up any different subject whenever you are in a different stream of education. So all these things are possible. The first thing that you have to know about an NEP is that the overall containment that the NEP has been developed has the ideas like it is not something that education is not something that you learn about subject and completely and you have to work on the same thing or you have to achieve something in the same. That is not there in NEP, because nowadays you are able to see that what if suppose taking me as an example, I have completed my degree in electronics and communication and I have done my masters also in the same stream. Now I have updated myself towards PhD, and wherein I am also working with respect to something that is related to electronics and communication or mostly communication. But when you look at me as the other dimension, my concepts are completely different. I don't look into technology or studies knowledge a lot. I have to go with my own ideas are towards something like bringing up some bridge between two different platforms, like giving up some opportunities for the students. Things are different. I have to make a different type of analysis there. The technical knowledge, whatever that I have, doesn't help me here when I'm actually trying to build that platform between student and education or their jobs, right? So my analysis is completely different. So we have a team and our team works completely different. We have people from different backgrounds. There is a professor who is from computer science department. I do have a person who is a business person who has done his MBA in marketing, and I have a person who has got MBA in HR. So I have a person who has got enormous amount of experience in finance and handling finance. So like that, I have to have those ideas together. Then only I can run a show that is called Diksoochi. So at the same time, so if you want to have these multiple streams put together in one place, so we need time, we need people, we need a common interest of everyone. But with these ideas of NEP, we will be able to have those basic ideas in one person. And that one person will be able to manage things at a better rate when compared to me. Because I don't have knowledge of all those things. I have knowledge of technical knowledge of electronics and communication. I have definitely. I may be quite good at technologies, using up how the technologies can be used and all those things. I would be good at that. But other than that, when I have to speak about the management, overall management of my system, I may not be the best person, right? So that is one of the reasons why we have to speak. Means why we have to have this. Why we have to have NEP. NEP. That is the way that NEP is going to help us, right? So speaking about NEP, of course, as the title says that the NEP is nothing but skill-based learning. We have got a separate division of education, which we call it as vocational education. The concept of vocational education has been given the highest priority in NEP. Vocational education is nothing but giving out the ideas towards the skills or practical experience with respect to the knowledge that they're going to gain. Earlier, what we used to do is we used to give a book. We are supposed to study everything there only. We were able to see how, if suppose there is a small example of a mechanic here, right? If you're speaking about a mechanic, then how the mechanic work is to be done. We will only see that mechanic work in the book. We will see how engine works in the book. Nowadays, we have technology wherein we will be able to showcase that the animations or real-time videos where how the machine works, how the car runs, and all those things. We will be able to show that. But previously, that option was not there. Right? We used to study everything from the book itself. We used to think that yeah, I know everything about the car, and when my car broke down, if I go and pull out the dashboard and if I just check inside, I'll not be getting to know what to do, what not to do there. Because I do not have that practical experience and I'll not be knowing what is the actual failure. So unless we find the problem, it's very difficult for you to find the solution, right? So by this idea of skill-based or practical learning-based education or vocational education, we will be able to have that practical experience. Through that, we'll also be having an opportunity to know what is really happening there. It is not just with that. We also have to consider the art. So here you are able to see that the next one that is about completely about the art, because art and craft has been one of the very important business nowadays. We are able to see that there are a lot of people who are who have given their best time with respect to the arts nowadays, right? So all these things can happen with respect to that of this NEP. NEP is giving so much importance to that, to your occasional education. So having practical or real-time experience will always result in the better outcome. It is not just for this. We are also able to see that technology. We are able to see that how the technology has been given the highest priority, how the other works with respect to the works, mechanical works are given. How about the videography or photography? Means today we see that a lot of people are working as photographers, and they are said to be their passionate photographers. But by the end of the day, they have got they have got the best ability to handle. Um, they have got the best ability to handle different type of photography sometimes. Have you all heard of someone called as product photographers? Those are the photographers who actually work completely with respect to that of taking photographs of the product for online marketing or online publicity and other reasons. So that is how we have got that uh, the skill, that the change of skill that will be happening. Today we see that not just the person who actually has got an education qualification or a degree will achieve. The other one who doesn't have the education qualification but has got that skill or the ability of handling a device or an equipment can also achieve better in their life. So occasional education will give that platform. We will see that how occasional education is giving a better platform with respect to these ideas. So under this NEP 2020, there are a lot of things that we have to know. before getting into that concepts there, what all the different things, how this NEP 2020 came out, and what all the changes that NEP 2020 has brought up. Just a small brief that I'm going to give. So MHRD, that the logo that you saw, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development, now will be called as Ministry of Education or Education Ministry. So they will be having the control of overall education and system of education, under which we have got many different platforms where this Ministry of Education is supposed to handle complete education in the whole country. That also we will see by the end of the session. And then this is the first new policy that has brought up, changed policy that has been brought up from the last 34 years. We all know that. And this was brought up by a panel with the former IS or ISRO chief, that is K. Kasturi Rangan, who have given a very draft in the year 2018. They have taken one complete year to refurnish everything and to bring in the policy live. Today we have that NEP 2020 alive. Then education is a concurrent subject. So they have brought that education is not the only importance that we are giving. They call it as concurrent subject. And gender inclusion fund. So we have something called as gender inclusion fund. So the idea of funding, idea of giving out money, and all those things we have under this NEP 2020. We will see that how this NEP 2020 is going to help with respect to innovations and bringing that innovation towards entrepreneurship. Both we will see. Okay. So this is a small change. You are able to see that what is the change between the existing academic structure and new academic structure we have. So here you are able to see that instead of having only three of these subsections, we have got four here. How efficient these four are, let us see that, because I have got a small description of all the four here, wherein that we start with the fundamental stage. The fundamental stage, earlier it was like we used to call it as like up from 1 to 5, we used to call it as basic education or primary education. Then we call it as 6 to 10, we call it as higher primary education. Then 5 to 7 we call it as higher primary. 1 to 5 it was called as 1 to 4 it was called as primary education, and below that, like your whatever that pre-KG or LKG UKG we had, that we call it as pre-primary education, and above the 8, 9, 10 was called as higher education, and then we had the university programs or PU, and then higher education we had. Now that has been completely changed. We have got a differentiation with respect to the age of a person. Definitely we had that concept there. The classes were defined differently. Now what we are doing is we are trying to give a different platform, different idea of education for each of them. The first one that we have got is called as fundamental stage. This fundamental stage, whatever that we have, will be there for 5 years. In this 5 years, most of the things will be in terms of activity-based or play-based. Play means game-based learning. So completely it will be about game-based or activity-based learning, where we all know that the engaged minds or engaged kids will be having the higher ability to understand things when they do it practically. Definitely the practical education will have the priority from the day one to the end of the education, always. But due to some other consequences, we'll not be able to stress more on practical education, since we are supposed to complete cover a lot of theory education. But in the childhood, the important thing is about practical education. So activity and play-based learning will always be the best entrance for education. Followed by that, we have got something called as preparatory stage. So understand that the words or the definitions with respect to the word given is very, very, very specific. Preparatory means what? This is the stage that we will incorporate new ideas to the students, saying that what all the different fields available, how are you able to think around, how are you able to discover different things, so how are you able to learn anything, what is the different way methodologies for learning. So all these things we do. For this to happen, we will start with classroom learning. So in the preparatory, it starts from classroom learning. So it starts from class 3 to class 5. Above that, whatever that we have from class 6 to class 8, so we will be having something called as middle stage. This middle stage will be having an experimental kind of learning. So basically, we have already given the practical life experience. Then we have given an activity based also with some theoretical experiences. And we also say that how to discover things, how you are supposed to follow things. All those things have been said. But higher about that, in the middle stage, we will be learning about uh, experimentation, how you do the experimentation, how you are supposed to go with different things, like what is the relationship between science, maths, how it is quite related to the history of our country, or how it is actually related to how you are able to relate some of the things to social science or the arts you are learning. So what is the importance of humanities? So we will try to give them a very brief of everything, very proper. Of course, we have got a lot of different streamlines available. So we are yet to see that how the streamlines will be brought up. Means there are a lot of discussions, there are a lot of pros and cons that are coming with these ideas, because it is not so easy to give away the platform for every field at the same time, right? So we'll see that. But giving out this kind of a platform, student will have the ability to think and take a decision at the right age. So at the last, we have that is called a secondary stage, where the student will go for some specific what specific importance that they give with respect to the content or type of education that they want. So it is for like 4 years. So after that, 9th and 9, 10, 11, 12, there you will be going with the secondary stage, where you will be having the specific idea, and you will also have the ability to choose one or two subjects from the other platforms, but concentrating more on what you are really want to study there. So we call it as multidisciplinary study. Like if suppose you are a science student in the PU, you all know that if you have taken a choice of PCMB, then Kannada, English, or any language is very compulsory. Followed by that, you had four subjects, that is physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. But if there is a student who doesn't like biology, but that person's concentration is quite good at political science, so you never had an option to choose that political science. But today you have that option. You can go with that multidisciplinary by using that idea of multidisciplinary. You can make a choice of political science there, or you also go with arts or history. You want to know something there, means different literature. You want to go with literature, you can go with it. Like that, you have got the option to opt for depending on your interest. So multidisciplinary will help with that. So when you actually give that kind of platform for a student, it will be the platform chosen by the student depending on his own or her own interest. So definitely they'll do better in that, right? So that is what the idea that we have. So you're able to see that how the complete education system of 12 years has been divided. We are able to see that it is 5 4 3 5 3 3 4, the complete 3 years, and then whatever that we have, like other than that, higher education, that is what you are entering right now, right? Right now you are entering to engineering. So that is your higher education. Now from NEP it will be called as higher education, and we have got a lot of different advantages that have been listed out under NEP for higher education too. We will see that as we go ahead. Okay. So what are the different intentions of NEP? So why they have brought up this NEP? The basic idea of NEP is to bring out something called as learning outcomes. Depending on the endpoint, we plan the structure, we plan the learning process, we plan everything with respect to learning materials, learning concepts, or what kind of students we have, how are we supposed to manage that. So everything we'll be planning depending on the outcomes. Today, you have already gone through the sessions called outcome-based education, right? So the importance of outcome-based education has been highlighted by NEP 2020. Then they have incorporated the problem solving and critical thinking ideas for the students at a very young age. Means at young age, we all believe that kids will have more problem solving, critical thinking capabilities. But it will not be critical, like when you compare it with your age, it doesn't seem to be critical. But for their age, whatever that they're thinking that they are pursuing will be very critical. So keeping that in mind, they want to balance and bring up that critical thinking capability of a kid to the higher age also. So they have incorporated a lot of problem solving and critical thinking ideas into it. They have given flexibility for schools and colleges to have multidisciplinary education. As I said, for a science college, if I go and ask, I want to take an literature subject rather than biology, if I'm the only student, then it will be very difficult for the school to arrange or the college to arrange that, because the college has got all like permission and their resources available with science, but you are asking for a literature. But how can the college facilitate that? So by the time as the NEP is getting implemented, there the colleges and schools get that opportunity to avail different subjects other than the subject that they are specialized at, right? So giving that flexibility to schools and colleges, they will be able to achieve better. And you believe me, there will not be, they say that like, at the end of like 2020, 2040, I have got that point also for you all. Every college and every school will be a multidisciplinary college or university by the end of 2040. So it's a name for another 20 years, right? Then we have got something called as National Council for Education Research and Training. So this actually builds up the curriculum with respect to how the education should be carried under NEP 2020 for each and every age, each and every section that we have seen, right? Then we have got rote learning to be replaced with historic learning or holistic learning. Holistic learning is the regular method that we have all used for a lot of time now. So rote learning, where we'll be having the opportunity to go ahead with the practical or implementations and skill based and all those things are implemented there. Then foundational numeracy and literacy, that is very much important that they're giving. Life skills and cognitive and social emotional and development and management is very much important. We see that nowadays we have we all, including you and me, if suppose if we are not able to achieve something that we have planned, easily we are depressed. We automatically start thinking that yes, I'm not capable of doing that. Maybe I did not do something properly. Maybe the way that I chose was not right. Something like that. We will be having all those things in our mind. So with that depression, we will not be able to continue the work, rather nor we will be able to continue our education properly. So to manage all those things, you need to have that emotional management, which is very much important. Having life skills, there is a belief that the relationship between a student and a teacher, how it was and how it is completely different. That change sometimes maybe it is good, but most of the times it is not at all good. So we need to have a very proper relationship between a student and a teacher, and only that achievement for a teacher for a student can happen. So to build that, we need to have that proper life skills. They want to inculcate all those things. Even the induction program, whatever that they are doing, reason for induction program is to enhance life skills in the students, right? So these are the things that have been the intentions of NEP 2020. So how about the merits of NEP 2020? So there are a lot of things that the NEP 2020 have highlighted. One is that comprehensive. It is very important that NEP seeks to address the complete education system. Earlier, we used to have lower primary education ministries separately. Higher education ministry was something different. Technical education ministry was something different. Medical education ministry was something different. They used to do whatever that they seem to be like it is right for their set of students, their age of students. But when it was actually linked from one to another, it was very difficult to manage for the student. By having this complete education system, we will be having that proper bridge between each and every stages of education. So NEP is working on that. Then early childhood education, thinking about what is to be learned properly at what right age. So they have a proper structure from the age 3. They have got like 5 years of basic, that is fundamental, then 3 years of prerequisite, then 3 years of primary, and then we have secondary. Like that, it has been very properly planned. Then easy of regulations, no periodic inspections or will be made nowadays. Means NEP will make sure that it will not disturb the schools or colleges. Remember that no periodic inspection will be done, but instead they will promote, or they help the schools and colleges to prepare their self-assessment and voluntary declarations of their achievements and their work process. So with this, student means colleges and schools will have the ability to alter things and to have their own new idea of assessment there. Then holistic, whatever the holistic that they are bringing up the policy. Then inter alia, we have aiming to eliminate problems of many things like pedagogy, training, teacher training, and all those things. Now, including the required pedagogy and structural learning into the degree of a teacher automatically will help the teacher to be capable of taking care of class and teaching students. All those things will be brought up. Then promote inclusions, whatever that inclusions with respect to fundraising, activities-based learning, and interdisciplinary learning, all those things will be included with respect to NEP 2020. Then the streamline, how are they trying to streamline this NEP 2020? Streamlining preschool education up to 6 years is one of the first idea behind NEP 2020. Because as I said, like the lower age students will be having a different thought process. They'll be very good at critical thinking. They'll be very good at creating or being innovative. Just like if suppose you are giving a toy to play with, even though the toy is made for something specific to play for, the kid will be using it for something else, right? That thought will come at the young age only. So later on, there are a lot of different constraints. We feel that if I use it for a different purpose, maybe the people around me may laugh at me, right? Those suppressions will come to mind and will not be, even though we have the ideas, we'll not be trying to implement it. So by having these improvising that, streamlining that, those things in the younger age, even when you become for like your workable age or like 20 to 30 years or about that, you will automatically have the confidence of trying new things, right? So that is very important. And promoting regional language. Up to class 5, they are promoting regional language and mother tongue, whatever I said. So that language they are still keeping in the education, definitely giving the importance for the regional language. Then strict distinction between separate types of education. So we have proper discrimination with respect to what is curricular education, what is co-curricular education or events. How are they supposed to be categorized? On what criteria they are supposed to be categorized? It has been defined very properly. And occasional and non-occasional. What are occasional education? It should not be like I am giving a complete presentation for you continuously for 1.5 hours. And if I call that as occasional education, it will not be accepted. So there are criteria that have been given under vocational and non-vocational education, and it should be very properly followed. So it is a strict decision that has been taken, and they have got, as I said, the curriculum for to handle all those things and to watch you all continuously. Definitely, they'll not come and interfere. They'll be continuously watching you to suggest you with the thing that you have to incorporate. Then limited tests in the grade of 3, 5, and 8. So 8. So we will be having very limited amount of tests. It will not be like you will be going for like multiple preliminary exams, continuous exams you do, right? So pre-preparatory exams they do continuously. So all those things are reduced to reduce the stress of a student. Then the reforms concentrates on fostering children's talents. Definitely, when I say the skill-based talent is very important. So they are giving more importance towards the talents of the student. So NEP, the key principle of NEP, we will see here. So I'll not take too much of time on this. I just want to highlight only some points because we will be running on innovation and entrepreneurship, right? So with respect to that of NEP, there is a very important thing that they have given is they have enlarged the viewpoint of education. There earlier it was very constrained. Let us say that technical education, concentrating only on technical education. Under technical education, bringing up a new branch or new concept was very difficult. But now it is completely different. Since they have enlarged that system of education, means there is respect for diversity, right? So they have enlarged it. They have got the enlargement with respect to curriculum. They have got enlargement with respect to pedagogy. They have brought new policy, change of policies with respect to schools and colleges is allowed. Then we are there trying to put in that ideas like how you are supposed to include things into education, depending on what criteria you are going to bring those educations. Means only they are setting up the criteria. What to be done to follow those criteria, it is left to the schools and colleges. Means freedom has been given to the colleges and schools. So there they also give away a lot of different things like recognizing or unique capabilities, identifying what is good at good with a student, how to enhance that ideas of a student. So all these things are done here. Then community participation, encouraging the students to be actively participating in private and community oriented what activities. So individual or unique activities are different and community oriented activities are different. So allowing students to get into that. How it is done, I'm going to explain that when we actually speak about innovation. There we have some points where I'll try to link that way here. Use of technology. Today we are not sitting in front of each other, but still we are sitting in front of each other, right? So this is because of technology. So use of technology in an efficient way, such a way that you don't have to spend too much of time, maybe for traveling, maybe for preparations, or maybe for setting up things or bringing up that bridge between student and teacher, right? So you will be having the what you will be having an option to listen to what you want to listen and when you want to listen. That option is available through the technology, right? So that is important. Then continuous review. So there are a lot of different criteria. As I said, there are criteria that have been defined, and the assessment can be done by the school and college itself. They may have to exchange their assessment criteria, and they discuss among each other, and they will bring up new ideas, right? So these things will definitely happen. So for higher education, NEP has given a lot of different importance. The first thing is about quality of universities and colleges. Higher education, I'm speaking about higher education after 12. Okay, higher education is after 12. So quality of universities and colleges. So qualities means they want to give, they want to improve the complete overall outcome of the universities or colleges. As I said, there is a chance of having interdisciplinary universities, right? There is a point here. You're able to see that by 2020, in all higher education institutions shall aim to, all higher education systems shall aim to become multidisciplinary institutions. So it will not be like any only engineering college. It will not be only that only medical college, not only science college, arts college. It will be a combination under one platform or one roof. So you will be having the opportunity to choose different subjects to study that multidisciplinary degree. Okay, so that is one thing. So that is nothing but the institutional restructuring and consolidation that they are planning. Then towards a lot of holistic and multidisciplinary education. So we have already discussed with that. So they want to bring in the capabilities of human being, intellectual, then social, physical, emotional, and moral support, and everything integrated toward the education, whatever that we have already. We have already. You once you get into the college, you will be having one called a human resource subject you have, wherein you will try to understand and learn about the moral or your social responsibilities and all those things. But earlier it was not having any credits, means you never had to write an exam for that. But with this policy, you will be having credit for that also. More things to come with respect to NEP now. Then optimal learning environment and support for students. They'll try to uh, have that autonomy that is given to the institutions will help to what enhance innovation and matter of with respect to matter of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. So college and schools will have that autonomy to make those changes for the student and teacher. They means assessment must be done even for student and for also a teacher. So both will be done here. So that autonomy is given to the college or university itself. Then this is very important. That is internationalization. Means what? Here you will be having the opportunity for the students of India to move away to a different country to pursue only specific thing. Maybe only to pursue the final year project you will go to means overseas option, or else the students that are there in overseas, if they want to pursue only project, they can come down to India. There is also some of the options, like if suppose you are making a choice of interdisciplinary, in one semester you want to learn completely about literature or Indian literacy or Indian history of India, something like that. The student is studying in some foreign country. If that person wants to study something like this, if that person wants to jump to India for one semester only, you have got the ability to jump to one semester only to Indian universities or colleges. So that we call it as transfer of credits and transfer of education, transfer of whatever that you have done previously, even that is also considered here, right? You all have heard about, like, if suppose engineering has been done for 4 years, if a student pursues engineering for 3 years, then there will be a degree that will be given to the student saying that diploma in that specific subject has been completed. Once you complete 4 years, you will be called as Bachelor of Engineering by completing 4 years of engineering. If suppose you want to proceed ahead for another year and you want to pursue one more, like one complete large project, then you will be having that PG degree with you. If you want to enhance your education continuously there and you want to do a research and extend it for another year or 2 years to proceed or produce a research thesis, then you will be given with the doctorate there itself. So earlier, whatever we had, like 4 years of engineering, then you have to do 2 years of masters, then you have to do 3 to 4 years of research, now has been reduced. Totally, you can complete your PhD degree in next 7 years, right? So this NEP has given that kind of a flexibility. So you want to okay, fine, you want to pursue education for only 1 year, Later on, you found something different and you want to be an innovator there, you want to be an entrepreneur, you move away from that education, definitely you will get a certificate for that 1 year education. So NEP, implementation of NEP will give all these flexibilities, right? That is the importance that has been given. Next thing is student activity and participation. A lot of opportunities have been created to students and with respect to their participation and achievements. You are able to get into the website of MIC, that is Ministry with respect to Innovation Council. So you get into that micgov.in, mic.gov.in, and you are able to see a lot of activities that have been promoted by them for the participation of student. It is not that what age you are, from where you are, from which state you are, from which background you are, nothing will be asked. You have the idea, you propose the idea. You have the ability to participate, you participate. You achieve. That's all. No differentiation is done there. So you have got a lot of things with respect to sports, you have with respect to cultural activities, you have with respect to the eco clubs, you have. So there are a lot of different project oriented things you have, design oriented things you have. There was a competition called for logo designing for NEP. There was a competition called for like logo design for IIC, that is Institute Innovation Council. So like that, we have got a lot of people who are working on, means there are a lot of platforms that have been created by NEP for the students activities. Then financial support for students, rather than the support that we used to get in a local level, like getting scholarships or all those things. Now you are able to get that financial support under the World Bank support, and we have got national NEP support only we have, wherein they assess your capabilities and they'll support you with the finance to implement ideas that you have, the efficient ideas that you have. Then motivated, energized, and capable faculties, recruiting those faculties or giving very proper training to the teachers in such a way that they are always motivated, they are always energized whenever they are whenever they are a teacher. So it's very important for them, for a teacher to be so motivating, so energizing, so capable that depending on their abilities, a student's ability matters, or the outcome of the student can be assessed. So for that reason, these motivated, energized concepts that are brought up under NEP will enhance the ability of every teacher. Then establishment of National Research Foundation. This National Research Foundation will be the platform wherein different research, as I said, like you can complete your research in the next 7 years, right? Once the NEP comes in for a student who is pursuing a degree, they'll be able to complete their research in the next 7 years. So all these things will happen under each and every individual roofs. We'll see those roofs also in the upcoming slides. So relating NEP and entrepreneurship. So I'll relate entrepreneurship first, and then I'll bring out what all the different platforms that have been created by NEP for innovation. So both I'll try to show. Okay. The first thing that we have to know about entrepreneurship is nothing but the ability to um, what bring in any idea that you had in your mind into realistic and provide service or product, bring out that service or product to market. If you're able to do that, then that is what we say it as entrepreneurship, right? You will be the person who manages things. An entrepreneur, sometimes like we have got many different types of entrepreneurs actually. One is that person who is a owner of a company is also called as entrepreneur. Sometimes a person who is handling a team is also called as entrepreneur, depending on what kind of work they are doing. So there are a lot of things or importance that has been given to entrepreneurship education, which has been integrated into the curriculum in most of the business schools of India. Not just with the business schools of India, in most of the curriculum of different educations also, entrepreneurship now has been inculcated. Even in your engineering, once you get into your 5th semester, you will find a subject called Innovation and Entrepreneurship, where you will learn about what is innovation, what is entrepreneurship, what are the different mindsets that you are supposed to have to be a very good entrepreneur. Like that, you will learn about all those things. And these types, the entrepreneurship and innovation type of education, will also be incorporated at schools only. Means we are bringing this idea of entrepreneurship to the students in schools itself. Whenever they are there from 6th standard to 12th standard, they will be having one subject or one stream wherein they'll be learning about entrepreneurship. Then academia protection and soft learning atmosphere, which brings the advantages with respect to NEP. Means soft learning is nothing but entrepreneurship. Academia is nothing but subject-oriented learning. Whatever that you learn with respect to subject, we call it as academia protection, because it is very much important for you to learn what is to be learned in right age, right? It has been already specified that you are learning, which is nothing but academia, whatever that we have, any curriculum that has been developed for any academic year, right? With that inclusion of soft learning, that is nothing but about entrepreneurship, will give you the idea when you come to higher education. There you will be able to think very properly, be innovative, and be an entrepreneur by the end of your education, right? That is very much important. So I have a very small line here. Entrepreneurship is the only platform that is flexible for the constant minds. Means you have to be having a constant mindset to be an entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur with constant mindset, then entrepreneurship is the best platform, because you are the owner of your own enterprise, right? You can alter everything. You can manipulate everything. You can achieve anything that you want to achieve. So entrepreneurship is the only platform, is the only platform. Remember, it is the only platform. Because if you're working for a company, even though you have some of the flexibilities, you will not be having complete flexibility there. You have to follow some rules and regulations made by that company, right? So when you are an entrepreneur, you don't have to listen to anyone. You have to think properly, but you should have that constant mind that is specified. This is very, very, very important. Constant mind is very important. If you don't have this constant mind, then it is very difficult for you to be an entrepreneur for a long time. Okay. Other than that, what are all the skills that are adopted to make sure that a successful entrepreneur is brought out? So first thing is that curiosity to identify problem areas. So we are not giving you the problem areas. NEP will not give you the problem areas, but the NEP will create a curiosity in the mindset of young generation, such a way that they will be able to identify what is the problem area is. They will be able to explore different problem areas, right? Then we have got business environment. How the business environment is to be created, what all the basic needs that are required for this business to work properly. So when we actually speak about that, so those ideas or basic means requirements are properly brought out to the student, such a way that in a proper age with the proper idea, that person or but student would be able to be an innovator. So that student should understand what all the business platforms available. So government will give us proper platform to explore different possibilities that are available with respect to business and economic environment. How the funds can be raised, from where we will be able to get fund to install something. How do we get investments from others? How are we supposed to start with any innovative idea that we have? How do we evaluate that innovative idea that we have? So all these things are done with the help of this economic environment that is to be created for the student. Then understanding of demand and supply. So that is very much important. We see that a lot of students have been very good entrepreneurs nowadays, but some of them have achieved very well, whereas some other would have not achieved in the same level. The reason is understanding this demand and supply is very important. What is required, you provide that, then people will automatically come and take it from you. But if something that is already there, something that is not so useful for the person, if you're trying to take that, then people will not come to you, right? I don't know how in future you'll be finding out a lot of different sessions coming out from the one of the section in our college called Institutions Innovation Council, where we have already done a lot of different workshops. There, one of the example was given with respect to a single sleeve T-shirt or single sleeve shirt. Means having sleeve for only one side. Means I have sleeve for the right hand side, but I don't have a sleeve for the left hand side. It was a concept that they brought in. Why did they do that? For what concept they brought that? So there are a lot of reasons, but that idea was very nice. It looked to be very unique. Some people thought that it is very nice, it is unique, we can invest on that. But by the time that it came out to market, they found that people are not interested in buying that, because it was something that is it was peculiar for them to see, right? They did not use that properly. Maybe there are some people who actually brought that product, but mostly the planning that what they did not work out. Means their ability or their thinking did not match with demand, but they had a lot of supply. did not match, demand did not match with the supply, so they went down with losses. So we have to have that properly. And researching on the solution with creativity and design thinking. This is very much important. For an entrepreneur, you need to have that mindset to research about creativity and design thinking. You have to come out with a lot of new things every time, right? That is very much important. So other than that, we have got like consolidate ideas. You have to keep some ideas, open ideas. You have to disclose some ideas, and you have to discuss some ideas, and you have to close it. So you have to have that proper stage of managing it. Then time management, very important. When to start with the idea, means if suppose you have an idea, when to start working about it, what all the different stages that I have to achieve, when and all I have to achieve those stages. If you don't do that properly, then the outcome will be late sometimes. If you have an idea, you may be thinking that I have to do something like this. If you don't start working on it, the next year you may find that same idea to be implemented by someone else, even though you have not discussed with anyone else. Because an idea is not constant with anyone, so it can come to anyone at any time. So you have to have these common process. You have to have time management. You have to work on it very properly. Then operational efficiency. You always have to concentrate on the outcome in terms of operational efficiency. So NEP will highlight with respect to all these things. They will give a brush, or they will create platforms to for the students to come and explore each and every point that has been listed here. Financial management, as I said, how to raise fund, from where to find fund, what are the different platforms available by government of India to get funds. Then communication, how are we supposed to communicate? You have got a lot of different marketing strategies available. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, post something there, have multiple likes or multiple shares there, or bring out something. Just like Geo gave free data for 3 months. People were very happy, and they simply took the same. Now, with respect to the technology that the Geo is giving, maybe most of them are now sticking on to Geo, and they're ready to pay whatever the amount that Geo is asking. Strategy, so planning it. Then resilience, that is very important. So, and you have got networking and branding. So as I said, like in Instagram or Facebook, you find it like, let us say that you are there on Amazon. You are searching for a product. Let us say that you are searching for a dress. You have served continuously for another 5 or 6 minutes. Now you close that and go to Facebook. Automatically, there is an advertisement that comes with respect to that dress. Who told that Facebook that you are searching for it? Or how come that Facebook got to know that? That is how your today's technologies. Everybody is analyzing everything. You are using mobile phone. That means that even though yes, Facebook is free of cost, right? You are using Facebook for free, but that doesn't mean that it is free. You are actually giving them worth more than the money to Facebook. What is it? Data. You're telling about your interests. You're telling about your needs. You're telling about your likes, your dislikes. Right? Facebook is analyzing everything. It is taking up all the data. It is now knows that yes, fine. For Ullas, this is important, or Ullas likes this. So when I open my Facebook page, it will only show me the advertisements of those products only, or it will show me those types of videos. It will show only those types of pages or posts by someone, right? So that I will be definitely clicking on like at least, because I like that. My mindset is on that. So they have analyzed it. They are giving only those things to me. Now and nowadays, you will be able to see that some of the messages come to someone like in your Facebook or Instagram only. You will be able to see that. What is it? Let us say that there is a product like your shades comes with 50% off. You have that will come only to some specific people, not to everyone. Why? Because only for those people who are surfing for shade for some days or some weeks, only those people will get that. If you are surfing for continuously like for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, that means what? You want to purchase something, but you are not finding something that is suitable for you. So what they do is they'll give a new advertisement. By looking at the image, your mind will decide whether I have to go check for other products that are there below that, or I have to skip that. If you skip that, if you don't get into that website, and if you skip that, automatically you will get a new website advertisement. But you click on that once. The next day you come, the same advertisement will be there. The next day you come, same advertisement will be there. You neglect it for another 2 days, a new advertisement will come there. So that is how the analysis are being done. We call it as big data analytics. So everything is, even though you are using Facebook and Instagram for free, don't think that you are not paying anything. You are paying so much more than money. Okay. So you are supposed to use that. When we are speaking about entrepreneurship, we are using those data. So Facebook is selling data to a lot of different companies, right? That is happening there. Then innovation. Now we will try to relate innovation with NEP. First of all, what is innovation? If you look at the diagram, I don't know what thought process is coming to you. Innovation is something that we create. We create a product. I should call it as a product, definitely. We create a product so that the product will be capable of thinking of something. That innovation will grow always. Innovation for any specific purpose have already been served. Most of them have already served. The areas for innovation nowadays finds out to be very congested, but innovation never stops, because anyhow the size of the road or path for innovation is, the more the demand for it, right? If you are the only innovator, then everybody come to you. If suppose I have got 100 innovators, everybody will have their own different ideology, and different depending on the ideology of the innovator, the product seeker will come to that innovator, right? So those things will happen. If you look at this diagram, what I feel about the diagram is that innovation is not something that you do and you stop. No, innovation is something that you continuously pursue on that, or else you do something in such a way that something will proceed with the innovation, or it will regenerate something later on. In the diagram, you will be able to see that it can be a person who has sat for hours together or days together in this place to create this product. Product is nothing but a robot here, right? Similarly, just like the same position, maybe if I have to create a robot, I have to sit in front of a computer for a very long time. I have to analyze, I have to build designs, I have to incorporate it very properly, I have to bring it onto a single product, simulate it, verify it, correct it whenever it is required, implement it on different stages. I come out with a proper product. Once I have all those things done, now if I'm able to put some intelligence onto that product, and if I ask that product to sit in front of a computer to regenerate something else, then that is innovation. Stages of innovation I am speaking about. Everything that I have done is innovation, but the innovation to the next level is something like this. But innovation is something completely different. What all the inclusions that are there in innovation? The very important thing in innovation is idea. That is why you are able to see that idea is the most important concept for innovation. The NEP will create so much platforms such a way that the ideation inside a human brain at young age will be enhanced such a way that when you give the education of technology, or when you give the education of real-time experiments or real-time data or real-time information to the student, automatically the ideas will be triggered in their mindsets or mind, and they will be very good innovators later on. So that is what the NEP is concentrating more on, right? So you are able to see that what all the factors that are there behind this innovation. So there is something called as idea, there is something called as management, there is something called as focus, there is something called as key point, very important thing, right? Key is very much important, right? The important thing of the many different properties or lists of things that we have to concentrate is considered to be the key, right? Knowledge for commercial knowledge, we have commercial management, commercial business, communication, analysis, focus, what type of focus you should have, how to achieve success, right? How to handle success, how to handle failure, what are the different targets you need to have, what are the basic education you need to have, how to plan for visions, how to plan for goals. So many things are there behind innovation. And as I said just before, idea is very important. Framework, yeah, very, very important. Framework, what are the different frameworks you need to have? What are the creative things you need to have in your mind when you are actually trying to be an innovator? Like that, we have a lot of things, right? So, speaking more about the same, that is NEP and innovation, entrepreneurial education, whatever that we have, if you can increase that entrepreneurial education in any with respect to the proper ages, then it will definitely reduces the chances of startup failures. There was a lot of things that we have heard from years together, but startups in India, startups in India, make in India, made in what we have, like startup India concepts and all we have seen. Even though there are like thousands of proposals comes in, and out of that 500s of proposals are executed, the next year you check, out of that 500s, maybe somewhere around like 50 to hundreds of those startups will be alive, whereas the remaining 400 to 450 ideas have already cherished. It has gone down. Why? Because the reason is they are not ready, or they are not capable enough to handle that failure. They are not good enough to be an entrepreneur. Even though they are very good innovator, they are not good enough to be an entrepreneur. They are not knowing how to manage a situation. Maybe because of that. So all these things can be reduced. All these things can be easily kept away, and we can reduce the chances of startup failures by incorporating entrepreneurial education in the education system. NEP is doing that, right? The next thing is that NEP trains every student to be an innovator or to be an entrepreneur. So that is very much important. Training is what, as I said, how to create, how to give the place for the mind to think about how an idea is generated. If an idea is generated, how the next process for the idea is to be planned. So all those trainings are given by NEP, so that the ability for everyone will be increased. And one thing you remember, that not like we all think that everybody cannot be innovators, but it is wrong, because in ability, being an innovator is a natural ability of every human being. The problem is that even though we have an idea, we have our own thinking capabilities, we have our own drawbacks. We are thinking that it may not work. That is very simple uh, barrier that we have, and we have to cross that. So by giving this trainings and everything, maybe that barrier can be easily crossed. We will be able to break that barrier, and we move ahead with those things. So everybody, or every one of us, have got new ideas. You may see that there is an electric car coming up. They are giving efficiency of 350 kilometers. You may go and study about it, learn about it. Automatically there is a new idea. You think that why cannot they do something like this, so that the efficiency may be increased. Now the point is how to go and propose it, how to go and explain that to someone. What am I supposed to do to identify this and explore this? So all these questions will come in front of us, and somewhere a barrier will come in front of us, and we think, why should I have to worry so much about this? Right? To break that barrier, training is very much important. NEP has got a lot of different schemes and programs that have been organized continuously. It is a free program. Definitely, it's a free program that is available under NEP, wherein every student has got the chance to enhance their skills or abilities to think and generate ideas. Okay, so then every innovation or innovative ideas is a skill. It's a skill. So anybody who wants to learn should be able to learn. That is the basic agenda of NEP. So innovation should happen with everyone. So when everybody becomes innovators, then automatically new things comes. When new things are here, then automatically country develops, right? Then NEP motivates students to involve themselves into idea generation, resulting in innovation and entrepreneurship. So idea generation, we have got a lot of contests going on, idea generation contests. Even in our college website, if you go right now, go to pscmandia.org/IIC. There you have a contest that is running right now. That is nothing but level 0 ideation contest. So in this ideation or ideathon, whatever that we are conducting, you have got the complete platform to give your own idea about a product or a service. Depending on the what uniqueness of your idea and possibility of implementation, we will qualify you to the different level, and then you will be verified with a proper presentation in front of a better panel. And then if your idea is really good, then we will upload it to the government of India, that is under the section of IIC, and you may get fund from them to implement that idea in real time. So like that, we have got many different platforms have been created by NEP to motivate students towards ideation or innovation and entrepreneurship. What are the steps that have been taken by NEP? So steps of NEP. is mostly aiming towards innovation. So I'm only concentrating on the steps that have been taken by NEP, which aims towards innovation only. Okay, specifically with respect to innovation. The first thing is IIC, Institutions Innovation Council. Right now, what I just spoke about, specifying the idea con. So under that we have that something called as means the ideation. We have got a lot of programs that are planned. We have got a lot of different what competition contests that we have planned, under which the IIC will be providing a platform for students of the college and in and around the college to give away their ideas, or we will give some seminars or webinars wherein the student will get to know that how am I supposed to increase the ability of thinking in me, what all the different ideas that I may get and I may plan. So all those things are in means can be enhanced in a student. So these things will be done by under the platform called IIC, that is Institutions Innovation Council. This is one of the council that we have. Then Ministry of Education, which we call it as MHRD. They have something called as Innovation Cell. That is what I said. Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. That is mic.gov.in. So if you visit that website, then automatically you will be having a lot of different features or abilities that the NEP has planned for all the students with respect to innovation and entrepreneurship. Then innovation and startup policies. There are a lot of policies that have been described by NEP for all the startup foundations or startup facilitators. You have got incubators. So for all those things, we have got some startup policies. These policies have already been defined by MIC, but at the same time, the flexibility or autonomy to every IIC of every institution also given such a way that they can alter that policy to some extent, so that they can have changes depending on their locality. Depending on locality, the policy can be altered. That is very much important. Okay. And next one is National Research Foundation. So we have the National Research Foundation. I just spoke about National Research Foundation just before that. This platform will actually help everyone to proceed their research. If you have an idea, as I said, innovation, you have an idea, and then after that we can go for the implementation of that, right? So all these things will happen with respect to uh, National Research Foundation. So if we have a proper platform that is available for any idea to be developed, so then automatically that idea will enhance, right? So I have an idea, so that idea, I think, like, I have the capability of implementing it. Once I have the capability of implementing it, I may be having a chance to implement it. But once I implement, what all the other things that I have to worry about? Means how do I go ahead with the implemented idea? So for that, this research is important. If suppose we are speaking about a product, let us say there is a laptop. Today I have a laptop in front of me. What was the size of laptop some 5 years back? And what is the size of the laptop that we have today? Smartphones, you all have it in your hand right now, right? What was the phone? How the phone looks, or how the phone used to look like earlier? Maybe like you have maybe that right now your age is like 17, 18 years. So 10 years back, you had an opportunity to have a phone in your hand. So during 2009, 10, we used to find very rare amount of touchscreen mobile phones. Maybe touchscreen mobile phones came to India in the year 2010 or 11, I think. So before that, we had only keypad mobile phones. Having a mobile phone was a great thing. Today, we all have two phones. Each of phone has got two SIMs inside, right? Our connectivity is completely different, and our use of those phones is completely different. Likewise, we are, right. The change has come only because of research, right? We used to have one. Okay, you are whatever that data that if you want to store a data, I think you people have seen CDs, right? Compact discs. The CD was capable of holding 700 MB of data. That's all, right? 700 MB of data. But today, the same size of CD, we call it as DVD, and it can hold somewhere around 4.8 GB of data. Again, above that same size, we have low-ray discs. We can hold more amount of data. Abilities have changed. These things have changed because of the research that is going on. If the research is to be carried out in a proper way, then there is something that a platform is to be created, and that platform is nothing but the National Research Foundation that has been created under NEP, which can facilitate every innovator, every entrepreneur to evolve themselves, to enhance their abilities to perform in terms of products or services. So that should happen. That is why that is one thing that is National Research Foundation we have. The National Education Technology Forum. This forum will always helps us in relating education and technology. Today, in the presentation, the orientation, inauguration, and with respect to the academic presentation, you have heard about something called as online learning, like NPTEL, Coursera, NPTEL. So, what is this NPTEL? So, we will be having a platform to reach to the professors from IITs and NITs and understand what is the methodology they use to learn. And being a student, I can learn that. Being a teacher, I can learn the methodology that they are using. Possible, right? All these things are properly done. So these things, relationship with education and technology is very much important. Use of online teaching, use of online learning, use of online assessments, use of online material supply or resource management. So all these things will actually help us in increasing the efficiency of the education system in overall, right? So whenever we have to worry about the innovation, so innovation or entrepreneurship, it is not something that I sit here, I go on telling that innovation is important, entrepreneurship is important, innovation is like this, entrepreneurship is like this, you follow it. Not everybody can be an innovator entrepreneur by my lessons or my presentation. I may only say that how an innovator could exist, or how an innovator can become an entrepreneur, or what all the different possibilities or platforms that are available with us to follow the same. So only those things I can say. But at the other end, reaching out to each and every step that has been explained by me, it should be your own mentality or your own goal or your own vision or mission that you plan, so that you can be an innovator or an entrepreneur by the end of the day, right? So these are the steps that have been taken by NEP, giving more concentration or giving more importance to innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay. So what is the difference between NEP and old education system? So this is one of the last topic that I have kept here, and after that I'll be giving you a small brief discussion about the how you are supposed to utilize the facilities that have been given by NEP for the innovation and entrepreneurship platforms, and what are the different events that have been come up very recently nowadays, currently what they have. And we also have to see with respect to that of what all the different or contests that are running currently, how you will be able to reach out to those contests, and all those things we will try to discuss. Okay, so the first thing that you have to know about is the difference between the old education policy, whatever you had, specifically speaking about higher education. So you are able to see that in my presentation. We are specifically speaking about higher education. I have already told you about all these things, right? So, like how if you are doing a program for 3 years, what happens? If you're doing a program for 4 years, what happens? And if you're doing a program for 7 years, what happens? What are the different type of degrees you get? So all these things I have already told you, right? So we will try to relate those points here. So if you are able to try to relate those points very properly, maybe you will have the idea of what is this NEP with respect to that of higher education. The first thing is with respect to the old policy of education, 3 years of undergraduate program was there. 3 years, keep a small change there. 3 years for your degree, regular degree programs. For BA and BTech, we had it for 4 years. For your MBBS also, it is for 4.5 years, right? So that is there, right? So that was there. Now in return, we have got 4 years undergraduate program. Return of 4 years undergraduate program. That means that earlier your bachelor degrees was 4 years, and engineering and these BTech was for 5 years. That was later on reduced. Now they have already come back to the 4 years undergraduate program, where they split up the education into each year. If they are taking a 1 year program only, if they're completing only 1 year, and if they're stopping, they'll get a certificate of 1 year of education with respect to the degree. They call it as basic level of engineering. Second level is mid level of engineering. Third one we call it as diploma of education. And then the fourth is the bachelor of undergraduate program, completion of undergraduate program. So they have divided into 4 different sections. Every 1 year you complete, you take up one degree certificate. it is not like every 1 year you get a certificate. Whenever you stop with the education, when you want to stop, there you get a certificate for sure. Then no exit option for students. That is what I was just telling you about. No exit option. If you complete the degree, you complete your degree. If you don't complete, you will not get a degree certificate. Now that has been completely taken off. You have got the option to stop anywhere, whenever you want, wherever you want, you can stop your education. You get a degree till that time. It's very important. Then it is MPhil. MPhil was made compulsory some years ago. Now it has been made a bit of flexible platform has been created. It is not so important to pursue PhD, to pursue MPhil. That has been completely removed now. We don't have that MPhil removal. MPhil nowadays for you to pursue. So you don't have to worry about it. Then we have got multiple regulations like UGC or AICT. We had a lot of different regulations. For UGC was there for degree colleges, AICT was there for technical colleges. We had higher education ministry separately. We had middle, regular simple education ministry separately. We had for health and education of health ministry separately, and all those things were there. Now what they have done is they have merged everything, and they call only one roof education, that is higher education is considered under one education, that is nothing but the Ministry of Education, right? So under this Ministry of Education, we have got a lot of different activities coming up, right? So with respect to this, with respect to the whatever the system, whatever that we are here for, here the ideas of innovation and entrepreneurship has been given as the highlight for every concepts of higher education. Not, I may have given a lot of examples for engineering degree, but when we are speaking about bachelor degrees, also there also innovation and entrepreneurship has given the higher priority there, because studies will always result in a specific outcome of new products or new services. Every one of us are capable of learning something. Once we have learned something, definitely we will be capable of reproducing something by the end of the day, right? If I'm able to produce something by the end of the day, then I should also be trained in such a way that how do I handle something that I have produced by the end of the day, right? If I'm able to learn something and if I'm able to have some outcome at last, I should also be capable of uh, keeping those things in mind, so that I plan, I execute, and then I have the methodologies that I have to pursue to continue with the process, whatever that I have designed or I have produced, the product that I have in my hand. Right? Those things are very much important, right? So the complete higher education policy, we see that the responsibility of NEP can be seen, wherein that every student must be an entrepreneur by the end of their degree. Not just like that. Okay, don't take me wrong there again, because it is not that you will not be taking a job finally or something like that. No, taking a job is also important. Like, you take a job, get into a company, there you become an innovator. There are designations as innovators nowadays. What you're supposed to do is you create something good for the company which is completely new, or you bring out a very shortcut to the company where the company can achieve better results by the end of the day. Right? So in all those phases, everywhere, being an innovator will help you and the employer in all the ways that you reaching out to a betterment every day is possible, right? So these things are very much important with respect to that of the what innovation and innovation and entrepreneurship under NEP. Okay, so now I'll be just giving you a small brief of things like what are the different concepts that are available under NEP. Okay, so the first thing that you have to know about NEP is that under NEP, as I said, you visit a website called Ministry of Education website, mic.gov.in. So under this MIC, that is Ministry of Innovation, we have something called as Ministry of Education is something different. Ministry of Education is moe.gov.in. MIC is nothing but Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. Okay. Under this Innovation Cell, we have got many different activities going on. Under that, the first important activity that we have is National Innovation Contest. So we have National Innovation Contest that you have. The first thing. Other than that, we have multiple hackathon process that is going on. One is Smart India Hackathon. It has been like promoted to be one of the very important hackathon contests that you have from last 3-4 years, or no, not more than 4-5 years. I think the hackathon has been given out to be the one of the very important activity under the NEP, or Ministry of Education we have. Okay, so that is very important thing that you need to know. And then they have got under the hackathon, they have one more thing, that under hackathon we have one more, that is Singapore India Hackathon contest. There is a collaboration that they are trying to bring in, and they are doing it. And then we have like what the one more thing, that is, as I said, Institutions Innovation Council. They are bringing up a lot of different local innovative ecosystem they have, supporting mechanisms with respect to higher education systems, and preparing the institutes towards ranking, that is Atal ranking, Atal Innovation, excuse me, Atal Innovation ranking that we have, that we call it as IRA, right? That is the Atal ranking for institutions of innovation achievements we have, and our college has achieved that to enter the what government aided sector second rank we have achieved. So all these things are possible when we are able to give away activities under the innovation and entrepreneurship. We have more, and under that, and other than that, we have got under the Smart India Hackathon, we have both software and hardware implementations we have, and of course we have one of the very key person who actually concentrates more on that, that is Dr. Anil Sahasrabuddhe, who is the third person of AICTE, who actually comes out to you all, sits live every time, creates a lot of different platforms to discuss with students all over India. So you can just be in touch with this website, and you will be able to see a lot of different programs and activities that are brought up by this innovation cell of Ministry of Education. And one more thing, we have a lot of different policies we have, as I said, and you will be able to join those campaigns as a student, as a volunteer, as a partner with your ideas. All those things are very much available, and everything that we have I have specified now are available through online. Okay, so next we have, that is one more thing that we have to speak about, that is nothing but Yukti. Yukti is one of the youth oriented program that has been brought up by NEP or MOE, that is Ministry of Education. And one more, we have something called as like Kapila, wherein like it is the idea that has been given by keeping the ideas of our very well known president Sri I okay. Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So that is Kalam's program for IP literacy and awareness program that they have, wherein you will be able to understand how you are supposed to start up with your product, how you are supposed to bring it to market, because there are a lot of questions that comes to your mind when you actually come to the market. So all these things are answered here. All these policies and ideas that have been brought up by NEP will definitely help each and every one of us to be a better innovator and a very better entrepreneur by the end of the day. So with all these things, I just want to conclude that. So we have seen about what is NEP, basic ideas of NEP, and we also have seen that how NEP is giving priority towards innovation and entrepreneurship. And definitely we have more than that. We have a lot of things like how and what are the different platforms that are created by NEP or MIC, that is Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, for the students to pursue innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay, so that's all there from my side. Thank you so much. If you have anything to ask, you may ask, and I'll be happy to answer.
Whether we come under any skill?
Right now, yeah, definitely. Right now, you being the student, you will not come under any scheme. It is there implemented from levels. We are yet to reach out to that level. Very soon, we'll be looking at that. So, aim of implementing NEP all over India is 2030. So I don't say that it will take that time. As per the process or the progress that they have, maybe in another 4 or 5 years, they will be able to have higher education directly incorporated into NEP. That will happen.
There is a lot of benefits about that. Those benefits doesn't exist.
Okay, so if you're speaking about benefits of NEP, and if you are not like, definitely we are not directly included into NEP right now. But if you want to avail those NEPs through the platforms that are available, as I said, IIC we have, that is Institutions Innovation Council we have. So you will not be directly able to reach out to that under the scheme, but through IIC you will be able to reach out to that NEP and you will be able to withdraw all the facilities that are available in NEP. Any other question we have?
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope this time that we have spent was useful for you all. And if you have anything to speak, you are able to, or discuss with me, you are able to see the contact details in the bottom. So we have the contact number of Diksoochi and also the email ID that have been specified there. You can reach us out through email or through contact anytime, and we'll be happy to reach you all. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Divya BS, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics at PAC, Mandia. It's my pleasure to thank our speaker on this occasion, Mr. Ullas P, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at PAC, Mandia. So, sir has given a complete information regarding NEP and scheme of NEP, intentions of NEP, merits of NEP, and how to focus on entrepreneurship and how to focus on innovation. Extremely is a wonderful session to all of us. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for giving a wonderful session on national educational policy with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you, sir. I hope that the students are clearly understood about the national education policy with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. Really, it's a very useful session to all of us. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to extend my thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. H.V. Ravindra, sir, faculty coordinators, and students for your, thank you so much for your constant support. Thank you, one and all.
Good afternoon, students. There is a small announcement for you. Today's afternoon session, familiarization to the department and interaction with the parents, will be conducted through the Google Meet, as it has been already informed in your WhatsApp groups. I request all the students to inform the same to their parents and make sure that they are also going to join the session with you. And my sincere request is, while joining through an Google Meet, make sure that you have been unmuted your mic, mute your mic and video. If you enable your video and mic, means it is going to be consuming a lot of bandwidth. For others, it will be difficult to receive it, who are at rural places. Please kindly cooperate. If you have any questions during the familiarization to the department or interaction with the parents, I request you to type down the same in a chat box. There will be an coordinator. They will be looking into that and they are going to answer your question. Or you can use and raise hand. The option is there in a Google Meet, so that you can raise the hand. They will ask, point to the specific name, and they will be answering to the sessions. It has been already. Okay, if you have been not downloaded the Google Meet, I request you to download the same. Thank you. And tomorrow's session will be conducted through YouTube Live itself. Only for today's afternoon session, it will be conducted through the Google Meet. Thank you.